This podcast is brought to you by Emote Projects Limited. The podcast is for educational purposes only. Seek professional advice to get specific help for your project. Enjoy this week's show.
Welcome to An Architect and a DJ Build a Home podcast. I'm the DJ.
And I'm the architect.
I tend to forget sometimes.
You actually look confused.
I did, eh?
Yeah.
If you may have noticed that today we're in a different venue from our usual venue. Today we're in the lovely home of the Temples.
Yes.
Parker and Musonda Temple.
And we have received a very warm welcome.
Yes, we have.
Yes, I've already had chocolate cake
And some fantastic juice.
yes.
All right, before we get into the main show, we always have a music trivia. And at this point, we'll leave it to you, Musonda, with that music trivia.
Yeah?
Yes.
I think we have another
We
guest.
do.
We have another guest here.
Come sit beside with Daddy. Yes.
Here we go.
Yeah.
All right, so our music trivia. Clues that I think are very simple.
Yeah.
All right? So 2 clues.
Okay,
Irish boy band.
Irish boy band.
that's easy.
Yeah, that's easy.
I used to listen to Irish boy bands all the time.
It's the Irish boy band. It's a love song that talks about couples always remembering to stay on the same side and sticking together.
Okay.
So those are the clues we're putting out there.
Yeah. Irish boy band, couples,
Love song
love song.
that talks about a couple remembering to stick together and stay on the same side.
Okay, that should be easy.
Yeah.
Okay, if you think you know what that song is, do let us know. And yeah, keep following us on Instagram.
For the clue.
For the clue.
answer.
And the
sorry.
answer. Yeah, for the answer, not the clue. And the
For the
answer.
answer, yeah.
All right.
Okay, so this is your home that you have built from scratch, and we'd like to take you back to the beginning and find out where it is that you started. What was the dream that you had? What was the end goal that you had in mind when you're like, okay, it's time? Yeah.
So like for me, I just felt like it's time to start. And the dream and the end goal, that is, I didn't even really think about what's the dream and the end goal. For me, it's time for us to start owning our own properties. We've been paying enough rent. I didn't really think about, this is how it's going to look. This is how the end game should be.
Yeah.
For me, it was just, we need a house. We need to start. And Happy took it up, right? He started the process, did all the conversations, babe.
Yeah, so we then engaged obviously an architect
Yeah.
who then gave us an idea of looking at the space of the land and what he would be able to do.
Yeah.
I think initially we were not sure what it is, like she said, what we were looking at.
Yeah.
But looking at the size of the land, initially the idea was actually to have 4 structures.
4.
Yes.
We just wanted money.
There was the pain of the rent, and then they're like, how can we?
make some rent for income.
4 is a magic number.
Yeah, so that was pretty much the idea. Then obviously the architect took that over, did the drawings for us. We looked at them, made some slight adjustments in terms of, I think we had a carport and a few other things that we took out.
Yeah.
And the diagrams were ready, given to us, and the process began from there.
Process.
At that stage, I wasn't even like really involved.
Really?
Like Happy tells me that, no, but remember when we made all these changes, we were discussing, I was like, yeah. But if it was the me now, who's really into home decor and how houses look, that process would have been very different.
Very
Different, huh?
different.
Because I think it's at that stage that you really should have a dream on how you want your house to look.
Exactly.
Right?
At the early.
Exactly.
And then when you're drawing
planning.
it,
Yes, yes.
But for me at times it was okay, we just want 3-bedroom houses, there'll be rental units, right? We won't stay there long and we move on. So I was not as involved as I know I will be on our
On the next one.
on the next build,
So
because
this
I have
one-
so many visions and dreams of how I want this room to be here, this room to be there. But
So this one is not the forever home.
no.
This one is the. This is the build.
This is the learning grounds
Okay.
where we're learning and experimenting
Yeah.
And so I'm actually comfortable to experiment here because it's it's the first one.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's experiment with that. Let's try that.
I'm interested because you said you initially wanted 4 structures.
Yeah.
Did you go with the 4 structures?
No.
Why?
I'm sure as you were coming in,
Yes.
you saw there was a structure.
Yes.
So that was the first structure we built.
Uh-huh.
So when we reached the roof of that structure, we made some decisions to say we still had a little bit of time where we were. We felt we still had a little bit of time where we were staying before that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we felt we could then start the second structure, which is
Where you are now.
Where we are now.
Yeah.
So once we had made significant progress on this structure, and we did some calculations, like she's told you, she wasn't really involved. So myself and the builder just did some sketching because the house is currently on one side.
Okay.
So we tried to do some sketching to see how the third house would sit.
Uh-huh.
And once we put the beacons, we felt
Didn't work.
it wasn't giving enough space.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we sat down, looked at it again, discussed it, and agreed that we would just maintain the two.
The two.
But looking at something on paper, I think it's very different when you see it live. Like when you see it on the plan, you see your 4 units.
Yeah.
So maybe
looks,
it's working. And they draw cars, they even draw little
Yeah.
this car will park here,
Yeah.
this one will park here.
Yeah.
But now when
now
you
when
look
you
at
see
someone actually,
Somebody says 10 meters, you're thinking,
It's enough.
good enough space. But when you put
actually, yeah.
people just be saying hi to the neighbors. Hi.
yeah, so we felt it was not, it would not make sense to have
Okay.
the 4
The
units.
4 units.
Though I keep telling her that on this side, one day we might be.
There's still enough space.
There's still the lawn and the garden.
It looks
I'm
nice.
used to having it now.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
but it says maybe one day there'll be.
There'll be
It's
Yeah, so
structure
we
there.
were put a structure there.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we ended up with the 2, and then we started obviously to finalize some of the work.
That's where I came in.
Yeah,
That's
that's
where you-
There I was fully invested. I think it's because in my mind I'd always said no, when the structures are up, I'll come in to do the finishing.
Yes.
That's what I'd always told myself. But now I know, better off home decor starts from the very
Yes.
beginning when you're
Yes.
drawing the house, because there's some details that you can add at that stage. It doesn't
Yes.
start after
Later
the brick
on.
and mortar.
Later
Yeah.
on.
Because in my mind, I'd always told myself that's when I would start, and I came in.
And
Yeah.
I think now the technology for drawing is more advanced
Than
Yes.
it was.
than it was 10 years ago.
Yeah.
So you can easily pretty much design the entire house before you even start to
Yes.
build.
Yeah.
How your kitchen will look, the colors of the
decor.
kitchen,
Yeah.
the
Exactly.
decor, everything.
So you see
now
it
it's a
before
lot
you
more-
spend the money.
Yeah, now it's a lot more.
Yeah.
Back then it was, I think that's when we were just getting the proper 3D structure.
But it wasn't
Not
10
it-
years ago when we started. You said.
No, the drawings. The drawings.
We started them 10 years ago.
Yes, 2014. Almost 10.
Almost done.
Wow.
2014, 2015.
Yeah.
Time flies.
Yeah.
Having fun.
But then, wow.
Yeah.
2014, 2015 is when we did the diagrams. The final diagrams were
Then when
2015.
we started building 2017.
2017.
In 2017. So Parker, you mentioned the builder, the whole process of the builder. What's common when you hear builder? It's horror story. They took wax, they did this. What was your experience during
The
the
process.
construction stage? Were there any challenges, any highlights that you had from that stage?
Yeah, I think from the builder's perspective, we didn't have any issues.
Mm.
But I think, as you've seen, I think this area is just developing. So you can imagine at that time, it was pretty much open.
Yeah.
So by the time we were trying to do the roof, we had roofing sheets that were stolen,
Yeah.
a few other things that were stolen, not
Yeah.
generally by the people who were constructing,
Yeah.
Just want
but
to
that
come
period
outside.
where you're waiting for the roofer to come, was a couple of days, and you've already bought the material.
Yeah.
So we had a few of those incidences.
Yeah.
But I think generally, other than that, we've always had somebody around
Yeah.
And the person who was doing the building for us is somebody I think who's built in the family for a
Yeah.
long time.
Okay.
So somebody
So it
that
was
you know.
someone
So it
who
was
you
somebody
knew.
who we knew
Okay.
was doing the work and is a lot more diligent when it comes to building.
Yeah. He's
Yeah.
a smart man now, builder. He calls my husband to tell him things that need to happen. So, Papa, I think we need to build here. We
Yeah.
need to do that. You know,
Yes.
he knows
Yeah.
his business
So a
development.
proactive
He's-
person.
Yeah.
And,
You can
yeah.
see, I don't know if you can see the door behind there. That door was
Yeah.
not there. There were only two doors, this door and that door.
The front door.
Yeah.
The drawing.
On the drawing.
Yeah.
But he came and said, no, it would be good if we put a door on this
That door.
side.
As
So,
well.
so you can see somebody who helped us, this being our, that's our first build.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know he's sharp. Because then, like the drawing from the diagram, sorry, when we got the diagram, you
The
still
diagram
have
was
to look
flipped.
at it, see, like, no, you have to flip it. You even say that, but vanilla, so like he thinks it's very smart.
It's good. It's good. That confidence is good. You need that.
Vanilla. But yeah.
How much of this house would you say is you, as in both Parker and Musonda? How much of it speaks you?
I think a lot of it. Huh?
Yeah, obviously there's some things that, like she said, in the beginning she wasn't really
Yes, wasn't that involved?
So obviously structure-wise she probably would have wanted more other things to have been added. But I think over time, as she's worked on each of the rooms, it's more or less she's created an environment that all of us feel attached to.
Yeah.
My worry is also when the time comes
To leave.
to leave.
Yes, you'll be attached to
People
them
might not want to leave when
because of how much they put in. You get attached to
Yeah.
it.
No, but and then like even when we're finishing it up, right? Because you have the structure, but I think
Yeah.
now when you're finishing it is when you make it a home.
Yeah.
Right, and that's how when I'm documenting our journey, I call it house to home because
Yeah.
we're now moving it from just a structure to a home.
To a home.
I always consult him.
Yeah.
Like before, he even used to be reluctant. Just be what you want, but no.
Yeah.
I consult him because we'll be staring at the things together. So he
Yeah.
also needs to be, comfortable.
Involved, yeah.
Yeah.
So I think it reflects both our styles. Like
Yeah.
he's very, very, very modern. He's more on the modern side.
Yes.
I try to even bring in a bit of just some rustic, just so it feels homey.
Yes.
So I think it reflects both our styles. It's a space we walk in, we're happy.
You're happy
Yeah.
with.
Both of us.
I mean,
Yeah.
there are some times when a room is being done, the kitchen, I think the first time we looked at it, and I think the towels were put, we were like, what have we done? You know? But after some time, like the first day you look at it, you
Yeah.
never say like, this isn't what we were thinking,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and whatnot. So you go to sleep and then but they haven't finished yet. So the moment, they reach, touch certain angles, you go like, okay.
Coming up.
Okay,
It's
now
coming
it's
up.
coming
We're
up.
very
Yeah.
critical, I think, that's happening. We all did.
So
every angle.
you'd probably be very difficult clients, I think, or very challenging to
No, we
to
just-
meet
we
your
know what we
expectations.
You know what you want
We know,
now.
and I don't think it's because the other people appreciate because they say
Yes.
no, you know what you want. We like
Yes.
to work with people who
Who know
what they want.
then it
And
makes
maybe
it
other
easier.
people would call us difficult, but no, I think they should just appreciate when they have a client who knows what they
Who
want.
knows what
Exactly.
they want?
Because we'll
yes.
tell you remove and put again, so it
Yeah.
should come out the,
The way
we
you
want
want
it to
it,
come
yeah.
out. But we should recommend you to other people.
Exactly.
They enjoy the referrals. So.
Yes.
Yeah. They'll forget the pain.
They'll complain in private.
What I like and what's coming out a lot is that you've clearly navigated this journey as a couple. And that's one of the questions that we had in the first season. We were
Yeah.
really talking a lot about how couples are coming together to navigate a journey that's quite big. It's very big, and it actually impacts how it is that you relate to each other
Yeah.
and whatnot. So maybe you could shed some light on. You've already done it, but maybe you could talk a bit more about what this has done for you as a couple, how you made the decisions when it came to how you were going to put money together to do this. How did you navigate all the decisions you have to make in order to get this home the way it is?
Yeah.
I mean, people have different ideas of how you manage money, right? Others will say you can keep your money separately. Others will say you can keep your money together.
Yeah.
So it depends on what the relationship looks like when it comes to money.
Yeah.
But I think both of us, from our backgrounds, it's always been that, nothing belongs to anyone. So as a couple, you definitely have money, a pool where you put the money.
Yeah.
There's some money that each one of us has that's to the individual.
Yeah.
So then you sit and then you budget, you agree how much should go to what. And I think over the years, we've sort of just now ended up with like a standard budget. And then we know what is to be spent on projects and investments.
Yeah.
And then we also have what is your standard day-to-day bills. Then we sit and decide, we sort of decide in advance what it is that we are going to do.
Yeah.
So we know what we are doing this month, next month, and the month after that.
Yeah.
And we try and stick to it. Obviously, you know how finances are.
Yeah.
Sometimes something comes up, so you make some adjustments. But I believe generally that's how, like I said, other people have different ways of doing it.
Yeah.
This is what is working for us. So you put everything in one basket. You know from that basket what is for the projects and the investments, and then what is for your day-to-day, and what belongs to me, what belongs to her. And you move on.
So I think, so it touched on the financing.
Yeah.
We're now started building, now started investing in properties. We've always done it like that.
Yeah.
But I think also going through this journey, I think it brings us together closer as a couple.
Yeah.
Because like it says, you know what we're doing next month, the month after. But like we're such dreamers. So so you're always also in 10 years, this is what we do.
Yeah.
Also our retirement home will be where like me, I've been telling me, babe, our retirement home, I just want glass. You know what I mean? I don't want this bag. Just like one space of glass. I think it helps you dream together. It brings you together.
Yeah.
And I think if you dream future together, it can only be a plus for your relationship.
Exactly.
If you always talk about the future together, then you don't see yourself with anyone else rather than your friend. Who else is going to come in and feel that dream you've been building
together
with one specific person?
Yeah.
So I think it just helps you come closer as a couple.
Yeah.
Just you become better friends. Yeah. So it's a nice journey.
It's good.
Yeah. Oh my.
We love stories.
But it's the whole truth. It's the whole truth.
Yes.
I know that you said that you weren't heavily involved on this particular project when you started, but having gone through what you went through, I'm interested to find out how you will approach your next project, taking into considerations your strengths as individuals. What would you do differently on the next one?
I mean, next one definitely at the beginning. I mean, when the structure is coming up, I think I still want to be coming here.
You won't?
No, what is the whole bend?
No.
No. But at the design stage, designing of the house, definitely I'll be very much part of those conversations with the architect, just so I know everything's where it should be, how the house is aligned, all the extra rooms that I want are part of the house. And really, I think it's just because, you don't know what you don't know. At that point, there's a lot I didn't know about the home journey. But after going through this first one, I've fallen in love with house and, designs of houses. And before I even get to the home decor, I've fallen in love with everything about how different structures look. So I'm also a different person. So I know when we're designing our next builds, I'll be very much part of those conversations. Just so I can also bring my element of let's have this, let's have that. Not only because now like Happy will do everything and consult me just so he makes sure we're moving together. But now we'll be both
together.
You'll be
both
in
there.
and you remember the decisions that you made.
I have to remember. But yeah.
So how would you say the vision that you had when starting, how would you say that compares with this reality? Yeah.
4 houses to 2.
I think the cost is what most people underestimate
Yeah.
the cost of building. I think you just hear people tell you, building is expensive. I know some people haven't heard yet. They tell you the finish is maybe 3 times more than the cost of the structure. But as you begin to work on the inside, you realize how to manage your expectations. Like in this case, in my mind, I was already, by this time we're doing the second house, and we're still on the first house.
Yeah.
So, the expectations, you have to manage your expectations when it comes to building.
Yeah.
There's some rooms that are more expensive than
others. Yeah.
But you know what? In honesty, all things considered, I think you've done a beautiful job.
Yes.
Thank you.
You have a beautiful house.
Thank you.
Yeah.
You
This is my
actually-
favorite room.
I was going to say, I'm just going to take a stab in the dark and say, this is your favorite room.
My favorite room.
Parker, do you have a favorite room in the house, or just the entire house? You just love the entire house.
No, the structure-wise, I don't know about you.
Yeah.
Generally, men.
Yeah, I know.
As long as
I
you have
know.
everything in the bedroom,
You're happy.
yeah.
Everything is fine.
I don't mind what happened outside the
Everywhere
room.
else,
Anywhere
You're sorted.
else.
they're just laser
As long as-
focused.
yeah. As long as the bedroom is fine, I have what I need, and there's lighting and security outside.
You're good.
Then you're
Yeah,
fine. That's very easy for you, Musonda.
No, it's very easy for me. As long as there's a TV. Don't spend all his thing. As long as there's a TV for him to watch his sports, right? Especially the football, but all the other sports in
Yeah.
he's good. So even if I put white chairs in the living room, he's okay.
He's okay.
Yeah.
It will be you to stress.
Not too stressed.
And then as we're wrapping up with the show, there'll be lots of individuals, couples who are at the very beginning of this journey. What piece of advice would you give to them?
And before as you answer that,
Yeah.
we were told that you recently celebrated your anniversary.
Yes.
How many years?
12.
12 years.
12 years.
That's like
together.
12 lifetimes. So, what's the secret?
12 years married, 16,
Yes.
17.
Together.
17 years together.
Wow.
Together.
Nice. Congratulations.
Yes, congratulations.
It's been a whole journey.
Yeah.
Yeah. Needs its own podcast.
All right, then go ahead and answer. Answer that question. We'll leave this one for the next one.
But yeah, it's a nice journey, marriage. But yeah, it's an interesting journey.
Beautiful.
Yeah, I think, like she said, with time you learn each other, you learn each other's strengths, weaknesses, and during the building journey you trample on each other, and then you learn quickly. Okay, my role starts here, ends here, and end like that.
Yeah.
And then eventually you learn each other, and you learn how to approach each other, especially when you're doing one or two other things. Like this room took us 4-5 months to finish. So
Back and
it's one of
forth.
those back and forth type thing. But I think as you learn, this also teaches you as a couple, and in terms of how you deal with each other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not only do you discuss children and everything else, but also this teaches you how to be patient, to save, to anticipate, to take opportunities when they come.
Yeah.
And all those things.
Yeah.
So
So I think it helps you learn each other. And like if you just use building as an example, right? Because obviously me now I'm more invested in the interior. If something doesn't look like we painted the first coat of paint when we before we moved in. I didn't like how the color looked.
And you
Yeah.
said
Like,
no.
no, we have to change this tomorrow. And my mom was like, what? You were getting married on the last paint. So obviously you have those frictions. But I'm happy you tolerate me a lot of the times. We changed the paint the following day, or maybe a few days later, I changed the color. But so I think it just helps you. It helps you know that okay, like even me, I know maybe let me not push too much.
Yeah.
Maybe maybe he has reached his limits, you get too upset. But I think it helps you learn tolerance and patience for your friend, and you get to understand your friend's perspective, at least. But that also comes with age, really.
Yes.
I don't think it's
Maturity.
I don't think that happens because you're building together. It also just comes with age. You get to know that, okay, some battles, is this battle worth even pushing? Maybe I can wait. I wanted to buy this stove. Maybe let me just wait because he's explained this and that and this. So but communication also becomes very important. We can never underestimate the power of communication.
For sure.
Right. I suppose the moral of the story, or the moral of this podcast, is that if you're a couple, if you want to get close together, start a building project.
You have fun.
That's a very expensive way to get close together.
It's an investment.
Yes, for sure.
Expensive, but so worth the investment.
The investment, yes. And Parker, Musonda, we are so grateful that you allowed us to come into your home, to invade your space. And it's been a pleasure speaking with you, learning about you, connecting with you, and learning from you.
Yep, exactly.
Yes. Thank you so much.
Thank you. And that's today's episode of An Architect and a DJ Build a Home podcast. We promise before we go, we'll pack up and leave this room the way we found it.
Exactly. No worries, I don't mind. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
An Architect and a DJ Build a Home podcast has been brought to you by Emote Projects Limited. The show is hosted by Kalenga, he's the DJ, and me, Mphangela, I'm the architect. Media by Monkey Business Agency. Music by Bless the Creative.